Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Joni Patry. Today I want to talk about the power of the sun in a chart. The sun is this very powerful essence. It gives life on our planet. But what most don't realize is that in Vedic astrology, the sun is a malefic planet. It is too bright. If you think about the sun, you can't look at the sun. It's so overly bright, it hurts and burns your eyes. So the sun can be overwhelming. And when you think about the mythology behind the sun, Surya was so bright that his wife fled and went away. But then while his wife was gone, the sun fell in love with this shadow, Chaya. But the point is, with this whole myth, his wife finally did come back, but she needed a break because the sun's brightness was too overwhelming. So I find that wherever you find the sun in a birth chart, it's going to be overwhelming. It like burns a hole in the house that it's in. And the people that it could affect, according to what houses rule what individuals in your life, the sun there will have an overwhelming, overpowering effect. So let me go through what it's like if you have the sun in a particular house in your birth chart, because it is something that you're going to want to know about. If you have the sun in the first house, many people bald early because the sun is the head, and you'll find that they'll lose their hair early. But it will give a strong physical constitution, but sometimes the individual can be a little bit too self-consumed because the sun is put in the first house. Now, if the sun is in the second house, you can find that money burns a hole in their pocket. So money may be a source of things that you could lose money, it burns. And remember, when I'm talking about the sun as it's in these houses, this can be relative to as it transits through your chart month by month. And many people say to me, you know, October's always a terrible month for me. And there's no other way to make reference to this except for the fact that every October, the sun is going to be in the same place. Every month the sun will go from one house to the next. And it's really important to note that when the sun goes through certain houses, such as the 8th house, you could get sick or you lose your strength or vitality. But going back to the natal birth chart, if the sun is in the 3rd house, this could represent problems with siblings, with brothers and sisters, or that it burns a hole in the relationship of others. But it can, of course, give you a lot of courage and strength and ambition. If the sun is in the 4th house, this can harm the relationship with your mother. The mother is overbearing, overpowerful, and not nurturing and as considerate as you would think, because the sun is in the 4th house. If you have the sun in the 5th house, this means your first child is usually a male, a boy. This means the sun, S-U-N, can equate to a son, S-O-N. So look for that. But the first child can be a bit self-consumed and overbearing. If the sun is in the 6th house, this can represent problems with aunts and uncles. Remember, the 6th house is the 3rd from the 4th, so it's your mother's brothers and sisters. And this can burn a hole in the relationship concerning them, although the sun in the 6th house can give a strong vitality and make you very, very healthy and resistant to disease. But if you have pets, remember the 6th house rules pets. This could cause problems through some pets, health problems that you can experience with your pets. Now, if you have the sun in the 7th house, this is not good for relationships. Many times you will attract someone that is very self-consumed, very much about themselves and self-oriented and selfish. So watch for that. The sun in the 7th is not a good thing for relationships, but your partner will have to be the one that gets all the attention. If the sun is in the 8th house, this can deflect from your energy, your stamina, your strength. So, and many times it can represent problems with the father because the sun is reminiscent of the father in a chart. If you have the sun in the 9th house, this is another key indication for an extreme with the father. The father will be overbearing, overruling, and has to be noticed in the center of attention, so it causes problems for the father. Now, if the sun is in your 10th house, this is the best placement the sun can be, because the 10th house is, if you have a sun in the 10th house, you're born around noontime. The sun casts no shadows in the 10th house. And this creates a sense of power, sense of ego, and you shouldn't work for other people. You should have your own business. You're very much the leader. And sun in the 10th house can cause problems with bosses. Why? Because you should be the boss. If you have the sun in the 11th house, this is great for great gains and money and wealth, but it doesn't do any favors for your oldest sibling. This will cause and burn a hole in the relationship with your elder sibling or siblings. And it can cause some overbearing and dominant friends. If you have the sun in the 12th house, this is the house that is the 8th house from the 5th, and sometimes this can cause some separation to children. Many times I find it's when someone gets divorced and they don't get to spend as much time with their children. So the sun in the 12th. But at the same time, the sun in the 12th house can disturb sleep and restfulness, but it will make you need to have your time alone. This is what the 12th house is known for. So with that, I'd like to close. I hope you've gotten more definition of what this powerful reference in your chart can indicate by its house placements. And don't forget to watch it as it transits year by year through your natal houses in your chart. So with that, I'd like to close. And if you need more information, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Thank you.